cloud. So we'll see. Okay, perfect. That works out for me. Okay. So as you know, I am in my shed, craziness going on right now. And I want to go over a few things with you guys tonight. I know that I've had a lot of you talk to me about, how exactly I get potentials. And I've had some of you guys come to me and flat out say, I'm not getting anybody. I'm not getting loyal customers. I've slowed down with potential loyal customers. I've slowed down with distributors. Or my distributors aren't producing, my distributors aren't doing, they're not doing as much as I am, or they're not getting as much as I am, right? Have you guys ever felt that before? Raise your hand. Me. Okay. We all have been there, right? And so I'm just going to throw it out there and I'm going to read off these bullet points that I have. You guys know I always have things written down and try to be as organized as I possibly can. So I have three main ways that I gain potentials in this business. And there might be other ones that come up in the future. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. The first main way that I get potential loyal customers and distributors is messaging. And this is not just messaging randomly. This is, I go to my friends list. And once I go to my friends list, and I might be able to share my screen really quick. Let me go ahead and see if I can share it. Yep, I can. Okay, so this is what I do. I click on here. I go to my Facebook and I literally click on my profile. I scroll down, I click on my friends list. And this is literally how I send messages. I click on the first person. I click on the message. Once I click on the message, I send the message out. Then I click back to their profile. I usually add a few of their friends right here. And then I click on the next person and I'll send another message. And then I'll click on the next, and then I'll click on her profile and I'll add her friends right here. And then I'll go to the next person. I'll click on the next profile. Okay, so this is what a messaging spree starts or looks like, okay? And when I'm doing it, I'm setting a timer on my phone first. You see how it says 10 minutes? That's because I always set it for 10 minutes. So when I'm messaging people, I am messaging them from my friends list, and anybody that I come across that is a negative person or something like that, I'm deleting them off of my Facebook right off the bat. Okay. I don't entertain negativity. I don't entertain anybody who is rude on their Facebook or is talking about drama on their Facebook or something like that. So if I do happen to see something, I just delete them off right then and there. But I'm also adding people at the same exact time so that I'm not getting blocked from sending messages or adding on Facebook. And then I'm just doing 10 minutes. I do this throughout my entire day. Okay. I set the timer and then I go down and do messages. Okay. The next thing that I do is I get potentials from host to post. Okay. So when you're doing your host to post, you should be saving your host to post. If you don't know what host to post is, you absolutely should go ask your upline, or you should ask a friend that's in this business, or you can even find videos if you type into YouTube, HAP or host to post or something like that. That's exactly how I learned how to do it, was literally from watching a video on YouTube. And then I started doing it myself, and this literally grew my business so much. So let's just say, I get my host to post up and I get people to post for me. And then I've got people commenting and liking on posts and stuff like that. Not all of them will have comments on it, and it's totally okay. This is normal. Your job is to find the one that actually has comments on it. So you're looking for at least one person to comment on your host to post. So like you see, there's people who commented on this one. Every single host to post, I will say, please add me on Facebook and send me a message. I'll get you all of the info. Okay. And then I'll tell this person same exact thing. Now they'll either add me or they won't add me. If they don't add me, when I go back to bump my host to post, meaning I go and check my host to post the next day, I go and add them and send them a message. Right. And I always try to get in contact with every single one. If they don't send me a message back, I will literally tell them that I added them on Facebook and sent them a message. Okay. So I added you on Facebook and sent you a quick message. Did you get it? That way I catch their attention on Facebook and on Facebook and on Messenger at the same exact time. So that's one of the other ways that I get potentials on this. And then when people like or comment on my post, okay. So let's just say I go to my post and I throw up a post on Facebook. I did this earlier today. I put this post up. I got three likes on it. I put this post up. I got 2. I put this post up. I got 26. This one got 16. This one got 23. Sometimes I just put a random post up there. Okay. Something that's interactive, something that's asking a question. Like this one was asking specifically, should I do monster trucks or tractors for my son? Very involved so that it allows people to start reacting with me and start talking with me. And so they comment on it or they like on it. And all I do is I click on this, and I'll either go through the comments or I'll go and I'll click on who liked it. I'll click on this person and I'll just send a really simple question like, hey, I just saw your comment on my, or hey, thanks for the love on my post. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Okay. So this is where I find this message. I created this board for you guys. Okay. So if you're not on our team and you're watching this on YouTube, your team should have something like this too. And if they don't, go create one for yourself. It's okay to create things for yourself and create your own board. So if you go into our team specific boards as potential distributors, send to story or post viewers. And if you go PDT from first message, right? And you click on it, it says, hey girly, thanks for the love on my post. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? So these messages are right there for you. That's one way to get potentials. And then another way is to go through your stories on your Facebook. So if I click on this, you see I have 77 views. And if I click, I'm just going to go to, we're just going to go to Isabel. Okay. So if I go to Isabel, I'm just going to click on my boards again. I'm going to scroll over. And I'm going to do this for every single person that viewed my story. And I'm going to click on PDT from story view. And I'm just going to click on any one of these. And it literally says, hey girl, thanks for checking out my story. Have you ever thought about doing what I do to make extra income? Look how simple that is. It is so simple to get potential distributors. And like, who doesn't want to make extra income from social media, right? We have to be confident in this. And this is one of the things we're going to touch base on too. So when I'm talking to people, I'm literally just either sending messages through my actual friends list. I'm sending messages out from people who post for me, or I'm sending messages out from people who like or view my story, right? Like my post, view my story. I'm going to send them a message no matter what. So if I make time for this every single day, I am bound to get at least 5 to 10 potential distributors just because I went ahead and I sent these messages out. I just made it a priority to send a message to every single person who commented or liked on the post. Okay. So that's one of the ways that I do it. And then when I'm doing anything, like any type of messenger or anything like that. Okay. Like, let's just say I'm going to go in the group chat so I can do this with you guys. Okay. Let's just say I'm talking to people. Okay. And I've got this, let's just say I've got this, this message going. Okay. I'm doing a messaging spree. I might just have to, sorry guys, I'm going to pause for just a second so I can go get my dog inside. Trigger, stop it. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So I have the dog outside and he was barking at the, oh shoot. Okay, so he was barking at the thing. Let's put a thumbs up in the chat if you can still hear me good. That way I know I'm not crazy. Perfect. Thank you, Trinity. Okay. So once again, I apologize for that. My dog was just barking like crazy and you could hear it in the background of my video and all that stuff. This is real life, guys. It's crazy. So this is what I'm doing. if I'm doing a messaging spree, okay, let's just say, and I know a lot of you guys know this, but there's some people who don't, right? So whenever I am doing a messaging spree and I do like a host to post message, okay, this is when asking them if they want into the giveaway. I'm going to post this. I'm just going to randomly send this to somebody, okay, in my messaging sprees throughout the day. Then they're going to go ahead and respond to me, okay? So someone just say yes in the group chat. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our HAP script board and I'm just going to click on they say they want in. I'm going to use that right there, okay? Now someone just say yes back to me. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the board app and I'm going to click, they say yes, I'll post. Then I'll click the cleanse host to post, and then I'll pick whatever photo I want to use. I've been using this one lately. So then, oh, sugar. Then they come back and they say, I've posted it. Okay. Someone just say posted it in there. And I'm just doing this to show you guys how simple it is to use this. This is what I do every single day. So once they've posted it, I'm going to use the board right in that same HAP script that says, once they've posted for you, send this. Okay. This is a message that's literally just saying, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And do you know what I do? Someone just write back, say, sure, give me more info or something like that. Okay. So then all I do is I scroll over. Now this has become a potential distributor because they're interested in the business. Okay. You guys got to understand, once someone's interested once, they are always interested. It doesn't matter what happens. They will always be interested unless they block you, or for some ungodly reason, they, something happens to them, God forbid. So then all I do is I use the PDT potential distributor board. I click on the one that says PDT convo from first contact. Boom, I send a message asking them if they've ever seen this before. Okay. Someone just write back, yeah, sure. Or yeah. Thank you, Trinity, for volunteering. So then I just click on the next one. This is the DTM3. This stands for distributor message number 3. And then they're going to write back, yeah, I'm interested, or yes, give me more info, or yes, I'm totally all about it, or yeah, I could do that, right? Once they send that, she said, absolutely. I'm just going to ask them if I can ask them questions. And the only reason why you're asking them questions is because you do not want a dead horse joining your team. Okay. You don't want to have to drag somebody in this business. If you have to drag them, it is not really a business, right? It is something that you have to manage. You do not want to manage other people. You want to make sure that they're independent and they are ready to run on their own, whether you are there or not. Because if something were to happen where you could not be on your phone, like we've had our Facebooks and our Instagram shut down before. What happened then? Some people quit right off the bat. Some people kept going. And those people that kept going let me know that they were ready to take that step of leadership, and that leadership is leading themselves. So go ahead and write back, yeah, sure, to this, Trinity, please. Okay. And then I click DTM5. I'm just asking them if they are, if they learn best through reading, video, are they a quick learner, things like this, right? You want to know this because you want to know how you're going to teach this person. And it's so important to know what their learning language is. The second question is literally just asking them if they're into personal development. Guys, the only way you can grow your business in your business in general, right? The only way you can grow your income with a business like this, or a business in general, is if you grow your mindset. If you are doing all the things, like you're posting, you're updating your story, you're messaging, you're following up, you're doing all the things, right? But you're not doing personal development every single day. The reason why you're not going anywhere is because you're not investing into yourself. You're not doing the real mind work, because this business is 80% mindset, 20% growth. Okay. So we want to know right off the bat whether this person is going to be up for personal development and growing themselves as a person. If they are not, knowing that this is a business that's 80% growth, why would we involve them in our business, right? If we know that they're saying, no, I won't do 80% of the work, what is this going to really do for them, right? They might get to like executive or Ruby, but they will never go further than that unless they grow their mindset, right? So it's so important to ask them those questions. So the next question is just asking a standard question. Do you know how to take screenshots? Do you know how to post on Facebook? You know how to copy and paste? Believe it or not, there's some people who do not know how to do this. So you have to take it upon yourself to know whether you're going to have to teach them these things or not, or whether you're willing to teach them these things or not, right? You might be a person who doesn't do well teaching these things, and you might have to figure out, okay, well, who do I know that teaches this on YouTube, or like, where can I find videos to teach these things, right? And then they're going to either do it or they're not going to do it. So then I just go with DTM. This is the next question. What kind of time are you willing to work this business every day with me? Some people are going to tell you, well, I have, all day. Some people are going to tell you I can work early mornings or I can work late nights. This gives you a really good thought as to when you're going to make yourself available for this person, right? So even if you cannot do, like they say, oh, I can work this all day, you can't work this all day, right? This is not a business that you work all day long. You set your time up, you set it as a priority, and you roll with it. You do whatever it takes to make it happen. But like, let's just say I have someone who says, well, I can do it in the middle of the day. I know at that point that there's some times during the week where I'm going to have to make myself available for them in the middle of the day, maybe once or twice a week. But then the rest of the time I'm doing mornings and nights. Okay. So important to get them the resources. So if someone is like, well, I can work in the middle of the day, yeah, you might be able to make yourself available for a couple of days, but it might not click with your schedule. And that is okay. Know that we have a team page. Know that you can show them the boards app. Know that you can show them our team chats. Know that you can show them Leaders Made Here, April Jennings page. Know that you can show them so many different things. So that's why it's so important to do this one specifically. The next one is literally just making sure that they know that this is a business and you have to take quitting off the table, and you're going to have to learn how to grow, and you're going to have to get uncomfortable to get more comfortable, right? Like letting them know that it is tough work, because you don't want to get someone started with sugarcoating things. You do not want to tell people that this business is easy when it's really not, right? We all know, if you've been in for at least a month or two, you know that it's tough work. You know that the work is mainly in your mindset and what you do, right? You know that the work requires you to fix your time management skills, and it requires you to do personal development a lot more than you're working this business, right? It requires you to say no so you can say yes, and say yes so you can say no, right? Like it requires you to balance things. It requires you to step up the game and step into your calling, right? This is something that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. So that's what this message is for. If someone comes in and they say, well, I'm not really interested, then you know they're not the right person for your business, because you're looking for those hustlers. You're looking for your next diamond. You're not looking for your next person to come in and sit and do nothing, right? So it's so important to be confident. These messages are confident. These are messages that I personally use for myself, okay? So the last one is just telling them exactly how to get started. This talks about the business builder kit. I know that some of us have those codes right now. So if you're watching this video in a point where there's codes, absolutely change it, fix it, put a board up for yourself. You can create a board just by going to your boards app and creating one for yourself. But it's so important to follow these in any way, shape, or form. If you get used to the questions and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what question's coming up next. Okay. Once you have those questions laid out and you can memorize them, start sending voice messages. People can relate to you more when you can send them a voice message and you can get excited about what you're doing. The excitement is what sells them, right? So what I do sometimes is I literally will go through this entire script just sending voice messages. I tell them a little bit about things, and it might sound a little different when I'm sending it in a voice message, but they can feel how excited I am and how passionate I am about where I'm going. They can feel how passionate I am about my team. They can feel my excitement for where they're going to go and how much I can do for them. And that's going to sell them as it is. Okay. So I want you guys to get used to starting to learn how to send those voice messages back, even if it's just something really, really simple like that first, like start out with that first initial message that says, okay, great. I think you'd be really good at this. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions just to see if this be a good fit for you? Right? Do you hear how that sounds when I'm saying it like that? It's excitement. It's exciting. People are more open to it, right? When I send those voice messages. So I do that a lot with my messaging. And you're going to notice if you start doing that, even with just a couple of messages that you're sending to them, like even if you sent the scripts for every single message, but the only one you sent what that was a voice message was, how do you learn best? Are you a hands-on learner, or do you learn best through video, reading? Are you a quick learner? What's it look like to learn, from, or what does it look like for you to learn, or something like that, right? Maybe you send a voice message and that's the only voice message that you send out of this entire script. And it is okay because they hear your voice and they can connect to you. That is the biggest part of it. So when I'm messaging for potential loyal customers, let's just say I send a message to somebody and they're in my messaging spree. Okay. So the first messaging spree, or the first message that I sent in my messaging spree was for a host of posts. The next one, maybe I send one for potential loyal customers. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the potential loyal customer message number 4. This is about the 2-day cleanse. I get a lot of people back from this message specifically. Also, I get a lot of people back from number 10. I get a lot of people back from number 5. These are the ones that are really hot that I'm constantly rotating them. So when I'm sending them, I might send number 1 to the first person, number 2 to the second person, number 3 to the third person. Then I might switch over and I might do host a post message, host a post message, host a post message. And I might switch over and do potential loyal customer or potential distributor message, number 1, number 2, number 3, and then I'll go back to the potential loyal customers. I hope that's making sense. But I rotate my messages. So I'm not sending the same messages to everybody. And I'm not sending the same type. I'm not sending just messages for host to post, and I'm not sending just messages for potential distributors. I'll get into that in just a second. But let's just say I send this message to a girl in Trinity and she writes back just yes, right? Like, yes, she's interested. Yeah, I'm interested. What's up? Whatever. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Boards app. Guys, this is how simple this Boards app is. You do not have to overthink things. I want you to know this is right at your fingertips. Every single person on my downline has access to this. And if you don't have access to it, but you're on my downline, you absolutely need to either send your upline a message, or if you don't have an upline, send a message directly to me. Ask me, can I get your board? I'll totally hand it out to you. I'll let you know, like I'll show you how to use it. So all I do is I go to product description. I click on the 2-day cleanse. Okay. She said she's interested in the 2-day cleanse. So I'm going to skip over the cleanse description because I gave her a little bit of it in that first initial message. And all I'm going to do is click on the cleanse price. And it says, okay, awesome. You'll love it. It retails at $65. But when you become a product model with me through June, July, and August, I'll get you my personal discount, which is $39. Does that work for you? Okay. When you're setting the price, you are always going to use a message similar to this. Okay. So let me just show you the difference. I'm going to send this. Don't write anything back yet, Trinity. It's okay. I'm going to show you guys the difference in this. Okay. So the TFX, this one says, awesome. It retails at $65, but when you become a product model with me for 12 weeks, I'll get you my personal discount, which is $39.95 a month. Does that work for you? Okay. See how I'm saying the same exact thing, but I'm asking in a different way. Like I'm saying, when you become a product model, that last one said, when you do it for 90 days, for 12 weeks, right? This is the same exact thing. It normally retails at over $130, but when you do a 12-week trial with me, I'll get you my personal discount, right? That's another one that literally sounds exactly the same. It's saying the same exact thing, but it's saying it in different ways because 90 days is also 12 weeks. And if you were to do 90 days or 12 weeks, that equals out to June, July, and August, right? So it's so important to notice that whenever you're telling the price, you're always going to tell the retail price, and then you're also going to tell them the discounted price, and then ask them, does that work for you at the end of it? No matter who you're talking to, even if you're making up messages yourself, right? You're always going to want to answer their question by giving them 1 to 2 sentences and then asking them a question at the end. So I never just throw it out there that like, that like, I never just answer their question and don't ask them a question back. I never just kind of let it go and just leave it up to them whether they want to respond to me or not, right? Like if I were to just say something like this, hold on, let me erase this little piece if I can. So if I were to just say something like this, like my discount is at $39 a month, they now have the option to leave me on red or not. But if I ask a question, they feel more obligated to respond back to me. So it's so important that you lead that conversation. You give them the answer straight up, and then you ask them the question, does that work for you? Is that doable for you? Is that okay for you? You know, whatever the question may be that you're trying to get them to answer, okay? So you always want to lead it back to that question. Okay, so I think I can take myself off of this now. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Okay, so my next part was when I'm sending messages out, this is like my biggest routine right now. And I started noticing this about myself when Bailey came home from school full time. So in the morning when I'm sending messages out, right, I get up early in the morning, I send messages before my kids even wake up. I do that so I can spend more time with them. I hear this all the time from people saying, this business is taking too much time away from my kids, or I'm not able to work this business during the day because I've got a full-time job, or I'm not able to work this business throughout the day because I've got this, and this going on with my kids throughout the day, right? You have to know that it is not your kids' fault that you're not working your business, right? It is not your 9-to-5 job's fault that you're not working your business. It is your time management that is either making it happen or not making it happen. And so what do you do if your time management is making it so it's not happening? You fix it, right? When things are not going the way that they should be going, you have to work on fixing it. You have to work on exercising that and trying to grow that muscle of time management, right? And so what I've been doing is in the morning, I've been sending out messages specifically for host to post and potential distributors, okay? The reason why I'm doing this is because when I'm sending messages for host to post in the morning, 9 times out of 10, I get my host to post done in the afternoon. No matter if I'm sending those messages out in the morning, or whenever I'm sending them out in the morning, I'm getting them out in the afternoon. And it's because I'm responding to messages in the afternoon, but I'm physically sending the messages out during the day. So, and the reason why I'm sending a lot of them out in the morning is so that I get enough people to respond to me. So I get 10 right off the bat when I go to respond to my messages. Does that make sense? So like I'm sending host to post in the morning so that in early afternoon, I can go right down my list and respond to people, and boom, 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 host to post like crazy is going out because people are responding to me to those host to post messages that I sent them like 6 hours ago. Okay. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm sending messages out for potential distributors in the morning. And a lot of the times what I'm noticing is that people, when they respond to a potential distributor message in the morning, and this might not be for everybody, but this is something that I've started noticing myself. A lot of the people who I'm asking, hey, have you ever thought about making extra income on the side? Or, hey, have you ever thought about making an extra income or whatever, right? They start looking at my profile early in the morning and they realize that they're going to work that morning and I'm not, right? Or they're realizing that I'm making extra income from home that day and they're not. Or I'm making extra income and I'm able to go do whatever I want to go do and they're not, right? And so they're seeing that they're actually going to work and making money only at that job, whereas I'm over here doing whatever I got to do and I'm making money in the way that they want to make money, right? And even if you're working a 9-to-5 job right now and you're showing like, I'm able to do this in my lunch break, I'm able to do this, right? Most people aren't getting paid on their lunch break, right? They clock out and they don't get paid during that time. You have a way where you can literally work this business on your lunch break and get a paycheck, right? You can get paid during those times. You can get paid more during those times. So it's so important. You can refer to the income disclosure statement for those details specifically, but it's definitely a big piece of advice is I send a lot of messages for host to post and potential distributors in the morning, because that's how I get a lot of my host to post out. In the afternoon, I'm sending a lot more for PLCs and PDTs, because I'm noticing that a lot more people are more interested in talking about the product late at night or after they get out of work at night, because they actually have time to sit down and like listen to what you have to say. Okay. So I do a lot of my messaging like that. With Instagram, I'm not doing host to post messaging. I know some teams do that. I personally do not. I actually send messages for PDTs and PLCs. And when I'm sending messages for PLCs and PDTs, what I'm doing actually is I'm sending the potential distributor message number 3. Something that's really, really simple, just saying, hey, have you ever thought about making extra income? And do you know what I do? Right? When you ask them, do you know what I do? That opens up a whole can of worms, because then they might question themselves like, man, guess I really don't know what she does. Right? So then they start going to your Instagram and they start looking at your stuff. I personally have my Instagram as private. I know some people have theirs public, but I made mine private so that what I could do is whenever I send that message about becoming a potential distributor and I say, hey, have you ever thought about making extra income? And do you know what I do? What's the first thing you think they're going to do? They're going to go to my Instagram. They're going to try to look at my Instagram so they can see, what is this chick doing? And they're not going to be able to, because my profile is private. So what they're doing is they're clicking that add button, and I'm sending my messages out to my following. So people that I'm following, but they're not following me back. So then when I send them that message, they're interested in making extra income, but they want to know what I do. So then they go and click over my profile and they start following me. And that's what I want. I want them to start following me. So that's how I send messages for potential distributors. Potential loyal customers, you can go down your followers list or your following list. It doesn't really matter which one you do. I like the potential loyal customer message number 4. That's like my biggest one on Instagram. It's about the 2-day cleanse. There's also another one, the potential loyal customer number 10. If you're not on our team or you're watching this on YouTube, then you might not have that message specifically, but it's literally just a quick message asking them if they've ever thought about trying a detox. And it's so ridiculously simple. And I do 10-minute messaging sprees throughout the day on Facebook and on Instagram. So you guys saw how I set my timer for 10 minutes and I go down and I click and I click and I message and I click and I message and I click and I message. And I do that down my Facebook and on my Instagram. If I set a timer for 10 minutes on Facebook, I'm going to go right over to Instagram and do the same thing. If I don't have time to do all of that at once, like let's just say my kids are being crazy. They're being wild. Bo is jumping off the couch and Bailey is doing cartwheels in the kitchen. I don't even know, right? Craziness happens around here. And I don't have the physical 20 minutes to do it, but I do have 10. I'm going to rotate and I'm going to go 10 minutes. I'm going to go 10 minutes on Facebook, and then maybe like an hour later when I have a little more extra time, I'm going to do 10 minutes on Instagram, and then I'm going to do 10 minutes on Facebook, 10 minutes on Instagram. And I set timers for myself because this is to hold myself accountable. Anybody on here kind of scatterbrained sometimes? You got 50 million things you're doing every single day. Like drop a 1 in the chat if you feel me on that, because I feel like we all have a little bit of that, especially being moms. And so that's literally my lifesaver, is setting a timer for 10 minutes throughout the day and just doing 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And when my kids go to sleep at night or my kids settle down for the night, that's when I go through all of my messages and I respond to every single person that's in my inbox on Facebook, Instagram, and text messages. Sometimes I have 150 messages to respond to that night. It is okay, right? Sometimes when I go through and I go to respond to people, I only get 9 potential loyal customers, but I get a crap ton of potential distributors. And my goal is to get 10 potential loyal customers a day. I might have to go through and send a couple more extra messages when my kids are sleeping, right? But my goal is to do 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 10 minutes, so that when I go to respond to people at the end of the day, I know for a fact that people are going to be in my inbox waiting for me to tell them about the product or for me to put an order for them, right? So this is a really huge tip with doing those 10-minute messaging sprees. That's how I get a lot done. And I do a lot in the morning before my kids wake up. Once they respond, I write their name down. Okay. So I've got my book. I'm going to flip it to a new week so you guys can see. I've literally got this book. We're going to go into July just so you guys can see it. Okay. I've literally got this calendar that I use every single day. And I'm going to show this to you guys. You can get it right on Amazon. It's called the Deluxe Calendar. It has the up and down days. And what I do is I write their names in. A lot of the times I'll write a name in for a potential loyal customer, and I'll write a 1 next to it. And then I'll put another potential loyal customer, I'll write a 2 next to it. And then another one, I'll write a 3 next to it. But then I might get a potential distributor. I'll write their name down. I'll put DT and I like to circle it. So I'll put DT and I'll circle it. That lets me know that they're a potential distributor. And then I put a 1 with a circle around it. So I'm actually physically counting how many potential loyal customers and distributors I'm getting every single day. This is why when you look in our 90-day push, if you're not on our team, you're not, you might have no idea what I'm talking about. When you look at my charts in my 90-day push, you will notice that I sometimes have like a +2 or a +1. That's because I've gotten extra, because I'm literally physically counting these and I've got them written down, the numbers written down right next to it. So sometimes I might get like 11 potential loyal customers throughout the day. Sometimes I might get 10, sometimes I might get 30, sometimes I might get 20. It really all depends on the day. Okay. And your business works like that too. If you are sending messages out, sometimes it might take you working an extra 2 hours at night, right? Sometimes you might work 30 minutes. It all depends on how much you have to do, but this is a production business. You're working a commissions-based business, which means that some days are going to be longer than others. Sometimes you're going to have to work 5 hours to get, all 6 of your loyal customers, right? Sometimes you might have to work 20 minutes. Like it really all depends on the day, where you're messaging from, where you're targeting. If you know you want loyal customers, okay, go to your follow-ups, right? We all know the fortunes in the follow-up. I focus my time on where I need it. If I know that I need to grow my network, guess what? I'm going to do a little more adding that day, right? If I know that I need to get a little more potentials on my list, like I get halfway through my day and I'm like, oh shoot, I've only got 4 potential loyal customers. I'm going to go message more for potential loyal customers than I am for distributors, because I know that I need that more, right? If I know that I'm closing in on a promotion and I don't really need the distributors right now, but I need a volume like crazy, I'm going to send messages for potential loyal customers like crazy. If I've got 4 codes left for potential distributors and I need to get distributors rolling on my chart, I need new blood, I need new people, right? I'm going to go and target my Facebook for potential distributors, and I'm going to send more messages out for potential distributors. So I am being very intentional with why I'm messaging, who I'm messaging, where I'm messaging, how I'm messaging, what messages I'm sending. I'm being very intentional with that every single day, and I'm making sure I'm writing them down. Okay. So that's one of the biggest things. I want to show you guys something that Haley Crowley just showed me on Instagram. Let me go ahead and share my screen just one last time, just so I can show you, because we got like 10 minutes left. So I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to go to my Instagram. I'm not responsible for anything that pops up because, Instagram be crazy. Crazy stuff happens sometimes. So if I'm going to, let's just say my messenger, okay, I go to my messenger and I see people in there. I can swipe them over. So there is a primary and a general inbox. I just found this out the other day. That's why I don't have a lot of people in here. These are all of my potential loyal customers and distributors on Instagram. Okay. This is about to be packed full because I just started doing this. Okay. If someone messages me and they say, how much does it cost? I'm interested. Like we'll see Patricia Pinkham. If I swipe over, it allows me to put her over in general, and I can put her in a specific area on my Instagram so that I can keep her in a folder so I can always know where her message is. So if I click over, those are all my people that I've ever talked to. right? And now I can respond to all of them and I can get them in my calendar, or I can get them placing their order, or so on and so forth, right? So that's a great way that you can do stuff on your Instagram and keep organized. Absolutely still write your stuff down. If you don't write it down, then then you're not going to be able to go and follow up with them, right? You're going to look at this book and like, yes, you have all those people on Instagram, but what happens when you get thousands of people on that Instagram general, section, or that general folder? Then you're going to have to go back and make sure that you do your follow-up. So write their name down, no matter if they're coming from Instagram or Facebook. A lot of the times, if they're coming from Instagram, I put a little star next to their name. And I know in my head, mental note, that a star means Instagram, right? So I make sure that I organize it however it looks best to me. If I am writing everybody's name down, let's just say June 28th, on that Monday, I'm writing everybody's name down. On June 29th, on a Tuesday, I'm going to go back to Monday and I'm going to follow up with every single person that I talked to on Monday. And I'm going to be so simple with it. I'm just going to say, hey girl, I've got one last spot left for this. Do you want it? Or I'm going to say something like, hey, I'm putting in a couple of orders for my 2-day detox. I know you were interested. Do you want me to put one in for you too? Boom. That's a follow-up, right? I'm going to create that urgency with them. If I've already talked to them about it and they said they might not be interested, okay, I'll hit them up with like a host to post message instead. Okay. But your goal with follow-ups is to make sure you're following up daily, every single day. And then if I go to Wednesday, I'm only going to follow up with people from Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I'm only going to follow up with people on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I'm going to follow up with every single person that I talked to this week. Why? Because Friday is payday for most people. And most people, their paychecks are gone by noontime. So why not? They invest into either themselves health-wise or financially, right? So it's so important that we stay consistent with following up. And I remember when I first started, it was so funny because I was going for a diamond and I wanted it so bad. And my upline had looked at me and said, and it was not my enroller, it was someone that was above me, looked at me and said, well, you're doing follow-ups? Because I wasn't producing. And I would go to her and I would say, I'm just not getting anybody. Like I want it so freaking bad, but I'm just not getting anybody. Right? This is so common. I hear this all the time. And she looked at me and she literally was like, well, Chelsea, are you doing your follow-ups? And I said, what do you mean? She said, are you following up with the people that you've talked to before? And I said, well, yeah, a couple times. And she told me, she's like, no, you need to stay consistent with that. And you want to know why? Because it takes people anywhere from 4 to like 21 times of you following up with them before they finally say yes. Think about back to when your enroller started talking to you. Maybe you were someone who was lucky and just jumped right in, right? Most people are not that spontaneous. And so it's so important to understand that you're going to have to get back in this person's inbox. You're going to have to show up on their profile for them to see what's going on and how your profile is and who you are. And they have to like you, know you, and trust you in order to get started with you. Okay. So it's so important. That follow-up is like the most important thing. So I'm following up throughout every single day. Plus I have a potential loyal customer list that I created like forever ago. And I just go and follow up with them, right? Like I go through my potential loyal customer list and I'm following up every single day. I'm doing at least like 1 to 3 pages a day to make sure that I'm following up with people. This is how I'm getting loyal customers and distributors every single day. But I'm adding to my list every single day. And posting is so important. So if you feel like, well, I'm sending out these messages, I'm doing these hosts to post, I'm following up all the time and all the things, right? Chances are it has nothing to do with the things that you're doing on those at that, level. Chances are is that they're going, after you send them a message, they're going to your profile or they're going to your story, and you either don't have a story or your posts are not something that they can relate to or connect with. If your entire Facebook is it works, they have nothing to relate to, right? They have nothing to relate to because they're not in It Works yet, right? They're not ordering products yet. So how are they supposed to relate to you? This is why it's so important that when you're posting every single day, you're allowing yourself to share your story. This can be hard sometimes. Where were you before this business? Where are you going in this business? Why, when did you get started? How did you get started? What were some of the things you were skeptical of? What were some of the things that you overcame? And where are you headed? It is that simple. It's that simple. Every single one of you guys has a story, whether you just started, whether you're at Ruby, whether you're Emerald, Diamond, anything, any level, right? You have a story. So start sharing it every single day because people need to relate to you. They need to know that you're somebody that they can like, know, and trust. Also, I like to put up a random post that has nothing to do with the business or the product every single day. So I might post like the kids outside playing on the tractors, or us in the pool, or us at the beach, or a picture of my dogs doing something funny, or a recipe that I made. And want to know why? I'm literally attracting my best friends into this business. I'm attracting my girls that have kids. I'm attracting my girls that love the beach. I'm attracting my girls who have animals. I'm attracting my girls who are hard workers. I talk about how much of a hard worker I am. So I'm attracting other people who are hard workers, right? Whenever you put it out there, you're going to get the same exact thing back. So I'm talking about how dedicated I am. I'm talking about how excited I am. I'm talking about how committed I am to my goals. I'm talking about what my goals are because I'm finding other people who have similar goals. It's pretty cool how that works. But what you put out, you get back. So whenever you message someone, they come back and they go and they look at your profile. So it's so important to understand that. Also updating your story. I take a lot of random videos just showing my kids and what they're doing, or like my lifestyle, or like what's going on throughout the day. It can't be just product. You have to physically show who you are. So even if it's 80% product and business and only 20% who you are, what you're doing throughout the day, what you're eating for the day, you just taking a quick video of this is mom life and showing your kids like throwing a fit or having a disaster in the living room. Okay, cool. That shows other people that you're a normal person, right? That you're going through the same exact type of things that they're going through. And everything is similar to them. And then they can start to know that they can trust you because you're just like them. Also, another thing is adding. I'm adding people like crazy every single day, and I do target adding. What I mean by that is there's certain areas that I want to expand into. There's certain states that I want to visit. So I know that if I want to take a vacation there and I want to take a trip there, I'm going to go specifically add in those areas. And I'm adding those areas every single day on Facebook and on Instagram throughout every single day. And if you don't add, what's going to end up happening? You're going to not have anybody to message. So if you have 123 friends on Facebook, well, guess what? You're capped at 123 friends. 123 friends is not going to allow you to make a full-time income from your phone, right? See income disclosure statement, okay? A full-time income, I'm actually going to show you guys that too. A full-time income is not going to allow you to, 123 friends is not going to allow you to get your best distributors. It's not going to allow you to, it's not going to allow you to get all the things that you've always wanted. I'm just going to show you guys on here. Okay. Just so I can have this for YouTube. I don't know if it can even be seen, but okay. It's not going to allow you to do all those things. So it's so important that you're adding people and growing your network every single day. If you're sitting here, or if you're in your business in general, or if you've ever been in your business in general and you felt like it was really, really slow. Has anybody ever felt that before? I'm going to raise my hand just because I felt that, where, there's nobody coming in, there's no loyal customers, there's no distributors, nothing's happening. It's like crickets on your page. It's crickets all over the place, right? That's because there's no momentum in your business. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. And I didn't realize that I was the reason why. I was the reason why there was nobody coming. And it was because I was not doing one of these things. I was not either adding, or I wasn't posting the right way, or I wasn't updating my story every single day, or I wasn't sending the right messages, or I wasn't sending enough messages. Okay. And a lot of the times it boils down to two things that are major: adding people and growing your network, or not sending enough messages out every single day, because we've got the boards up, right? You should be sending similar messages to what I'm sending, no matter what. Even if you make up your own, you can make up your own. You can have ones that are similar, and that's okay. But if you're not sending enough of those messages, you're not going to be able to get that tumble effect where you get to the top of the hill with the snowball, and the snowball is so big that it just starts gaining momentum and going down the other side, right? if you don't consistently roll in that path, you know, and keep going and keep pushing and keep going throughout the day, then you're not going to get that snowball big enough to go down that other side. You see what I'm saying? You have to send more messages. And this is the way that I think about it. Okay. If I want a loyal customer, I just don't stop until I get it. Right. I just say one more message and one more message and one more message and one more message, as many as I possibly can. There are going to be some days where you're not enrolling, but you need to be adding to your list on those days, right? And you have to be consistently following up with those people. I've had plenty of days where I don't enroll on those days, but come that next week or come that Friday, I'm booming like crazy. And it's because I stayed consistent with adding to my list and doing the follow-up. I'm completing the whole circle. So if you're feeling like your business is pausing or it's at a standstill or there's nothing happening, the only person who can gain that momentum is you. And that comes within these steps of posting, adding, updating your story, and sending the messages out, and then following every single day, all as many times as you possibly can throughout the day. And if you feel like, well, I just need that loyal customer, what's one more message, right? What's one more ad? That next person you add could be your diamond. That next person you message could be your next diamond, right? And then that creates that snowball effect. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys before we hop off here, I think we have like 1 minute left, is the last thing that you need to complete this whole equation is the belief in yourself that you can do it. I struggled so bad when I first started this business with believing in myself. And when my enroller quit and left, she said some pretty harsh words that held me, you know, kind of frozen. And I allowed myself to stand there freezing. And I didn't realize that I was doing it to myself the entire time. But I had to realize at one point that I wanted more in my life. And I had to start believing in myself and growing as a person so that I could believe that I was going to be there. Sometimes you're doing all the right things, but you just aren't believing in yourself. And that comes with mindset. That comes with personal growth and development. So if you're not reading or you're not listening to podcasts or you're not actively writing down who you want to be every single day, and you're not writing down things that you love about yourself or things that you're grateful for or things that you're grateful that are coming your way, you're never going to get there. And it's because you don't believe in yourself as much as you need to in order to grow your life and grow your business. So I hope that you take these tips, and I hope that you grow and you read and you listen to the podcast and you do all the personal self-help and self-work on yourself so that you can grow and learn how to work this business consistently every single day. I hope this helped you guys so much. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great night.